You said a water, but you've got a club soda. Does that really quench the thirst?
I think that's the question. This is actually blackberry. Do we usually get this?
I feel from time to time. What are you thinking it is?
I think it quenches the thirst. It does the deed.
See, I prefer water. When I'm like really, really thirsty, I'm going to go for a water.
Well, if you're talking a lot, but considering that we share a podcast together, that limits the amount of talking I feel you do.
I was just
and you
choked.
Almost just choked.
If I choked, could you do the whole thing yourself? You would need my water, though.
Well, I would use your water, and I think I would be able to complete the podcast and just hide my feeling of worry for your
Well, in this scenario, do I need help?
You do need help.
Did you call 911?
But the audience comes first, okay? And I think that's what they love most about us, is that we put them first.
You're at the Freddie
above
Alyssa show.
Our own lives. And I think that's healthy.
Like above the dog who's crying to get down.
Oh, is he on the bed?
He's on the bed.
Have you not learned your lesson? Do you want to tilt this light a little towards us too? We have good daylight right now. We also got to talk about what we're going to do for dinner.
What light am I doing?
Just tilt this light a little bit towards me.
Good?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah. You got to have the star be well lit, you know?
Oh. Yeah, Benjamin. Hello.
He is the star. Have you made a debut lately? You're doing so well.
He's been doing great. He just got groomed yesterday.
Yeah.
And even the groomer was like, he's doing so good. Because back when he had, like, his bladder infection, he had all these infections. And he wasn't able to, like, stand for long. Do I have something?
Yeah.
Thank you, honey. But he's doing good. He's back to his old self.
Yeah,
Causing trouble.
Causing trouble. He's doing really well. And I keep looking at the new grill.
Oh.
Our friend bought us a really nice grill for Christmas, and we got it early, which is nice.
Yeah.
All we need is a propane tank.
So where do you get that?
Just at like a 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven?
I know they sell the refills there, but I think they're full and you can just buy one. So if you don't drop one off, I think it's like $50. Okay. But once it's empty, you bring in the empty one, and they charge you like $20.
Okay.
And they take that can and give you a full one. So you're only paying for the actual propane, not the actual tank.
So
we need a tank.
How long does one propane tank last?
I mean, it'll last probably like 20 cooking sessions.
20 cooking sessions.
Maybe even longer, depending on what you're cooking.
I'm curious, if anyone has a grill, do you use it often? I wonder if a grill is going to be one of those things that we use a ton. I think probably, because we live in Florida.
Yeah. I mean, we use the air fryer, and
yeah.
I think that's the one point that I've never made, because we always talk about like Florida Fred specials, and we talk about the food, and I think I give people the wrong idea that I'm like a really good cook when I'm not a really good cook. I just...
Good enough.
I make what's convenient. So if it's going to take me like cutting up if it's going to take me an hour, I just lose interest.
You do. And I feel like when we first moved to Florida, now granted where we lived, we did have a grill. Remember the first house? So we grilled all the time, and Florida Fred was coming through. I mean, you made some delicious things. And then as we moved around before we finally landed here and we just got the grill, you cook you cook, but not in depth.
No, just whatever's simple. So there's times I'll make videos and like I just put ground beef and like onion and garlic powder or garlic salt and mix it together.
Yeah.
And it's not to be like gourmet. I'm just getting my proteins in. It's healthy and it's just quick and simple. You wash one pan and it's over. But the air fryer is like amazing. And now the grill, we'll do some like chicken tender. We'll grill some chicken strips on there. And mainly I just want to do burgers because I'm into this new like smash burger where you really smash them super thin.
Okay.
I feel
is this something you saw online or
not something I saw online, but when Applebee's does it.
Okay.
I think Steak and Shake does it.
Okay. It's called a smash burger.
And I think Mr. Beast burger is smashed, which I tried to convince her one day. We were like, let's order some fast food and indulge. And she goes, that seems like it's going to be too rich on my tummy.
It's so big.
I know, but I really want to. I love Mr. Beast. Do you know Mr. Beast? You've got to know Mr. Beast.
I didn't know Mr. Beast until you introduced me to him. And he has how many YouTube followers?
Over 100 million. I think he's the first or second most followed person on YouTube.
Wow.
and he created Mr. Beast Burger, but he did it in a way that is so 2022, even though he started a couple years ago, which is he does not, I don't believe, have an actual Beast Burger like next to a McDonald's.
Right.
He partners with restaurants who already have the equipment needed. And so if there's a, like I actually saw, they didn't say it here, but we were going to order ours. And when I looked at the address, it's Red Robin.
I did see that.
Of where it is.
So that's where they cook it at.
So Mr. Beast will essentially partner with Red Robin, and Red Robin will order all the Mr. Beast ingredients. They already have the facilities to do it, and then you can order the Mr. Beast burger on Grubhub or Postmates. And this way he splits the revenue share. So he's using his brand to help restaurants, but also without the risk of him having to open up 1,000 Mr. Beast burgers. He has no employees to worry about, or to manage, I should say. That's a more polite way to put it.
What did you say?
To worry about. Well, you can imagine a McDonald's has what, like 50,000 employees? Can you imagine that, like, leadership challenge?
But isn't it true, though, that each McDonald's is owned by someone who has to go in like 40 hours a week? Isn't that what you told me?
I did read that, but the more I think about it, it just doesn't seem... The whole reason, and you have to have like $1 million. Like, McDonald's does not mess around. But that's why it's delicious everywhere you go. Mm-hmm. You never, ever, once, ever have a bad McDonald's experience. Ever.
I know. There's this other YouTuber. His name's Chris, or he's like an Instagrammer, also YouTuber. But he's a really big, like, fitness guru. And I remember there was a video one time of him going to McDonald's and, like, bad pizza, like, all this stuff. And he's so used to putting pure food into his body that when he ate these fast food places, like, he was just like, this is so gross, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I don't know if I could ever get to a point where I couldn't enjoy McDonald's. Like, I don't care if I'm dieting for like 6 months of just healthy. McDonald's is, it's just so good to me.
Unless he did it for years.
Probably.
I did remember like a year and a half ago, I did 8 months straight, lost like almost 50 pounds. Put some of that back on.
It's the holidays.
As soon as the 8 months was over, I was like had a month of like eating like kind of healthy-ish, but would cheat a little bit. But I could easily do pizza and a burger again.
Oh yeah, it's so good. I've been trying to really watch my weight. Well, not watch my weight, but like eat healthy more so recently, because I know the holidays are coming up. And I'm just going to probably go hams.
Well, and also, too, I'm starting to, instead of looking at diet as a successful day or a failed week or a failed diet, I'm starting to try to tell myself, like, look at it as a 365-day journey. So even if you have a terrible 2 weeks, it's like, that's only 2 weeks. Like, don't, like, I do that where I would, like, then punish myself, where it's like, no, just... the next day, even though you had 2 bad weeks, do like 4 to 5, 6 days in a row. Yeah. Because at the end of the year, you're just like, oh, wow, I had, a couple months all added up. Like when your family was in town, we were eating the Mexican food every night, which was delicious. So good. Just, just calories, like tons of calories. And then with Thanksgiving. And so you go on these little benders, but then I'm like, well, no, just get on it and stay cool for a while. Yep. Like, because I don't want to look at it and go, well, the year's almost over. Let me just enjoy for 3 weeks. It's like, then I'm going to be so much further behind January 1st. So I'm just kind of working on the balance of it.
Balance. Isn't that a beautiful thing? That's my favorite way to do it. Balance, baby.
Well, you just get exhausted. I've just been on the road for so long. You just get tired. So I'm trying to keep myself active. And I think that is that's the difference. Is like choose a healthy, like, the last couple days I have fasted, not on purpose, but I was just busy and I love having tasks, until about 2:30. And I do this new little bowl, which I think is just phenomenal. It sounds gross. Don't even know how I put it together one day. I think it was because it's all we had. 2 packets of tuna, which I want to say is about 34 grams of protein, very low in calories, a lot of protein. A little bit of low fat or light mayo. Mm-hmm. Light mayo, salt and pepper, mix that all together. Take a cup of minute rice, put that in the microwave for 1 minute, dump it in, mix the rice and the tuna, mayonnaise, salt and pepper all around, sprinkle a little bit of shredded cheese, little tapatio, mix it all together.
Sounds interesting. Unique.
It's good.
Unique.
It has a lot of protein. It gets you going, and it's a cheap meal. I love just like, something quick, easy, and full of protein.
See, where I'd make the edits in that tuna, I would have light mayo, salt and pepper. I'd cut up maybe some onions, some pickles, and then I'd prefer personally to have it like on a saltine cracker. That sounds really yummy.
That does sound pretty good, but that becomes, crumbs. Mine's crumbless. So that's...
Well, it's funny. Even last night, I made a salad where I chopped up like all these cucumbers, tomatoes, had garbanzo beans, olives, cut up cheese, croutons, like meat, everything. And it took me a while.
Yeah. But it was good. It inspired me.
Though.
I used the leftovers. We made some salmon in the air fryer.
That was delicious.
So things are going well. Like we're picking the right foods, and I'm also staying busy because this past couple weeks.
You've been doing stuff in the house.
Just stuff in the house.
Let's talk about that. What have you done so far to the house?
So we've updated the guest bedroom. It's almost done. We've got like a mint green wall, and we didn't find, it was dropped off as her parents got rid of their storage unit, and we got all your stuff as a kid, which is so wonderful to look back on all your VHS tapes that takes up about 10 feet of our garage. But anyway, she had this like wicker swing that you sit in.
It's a chair that hangs from the ceiling. It's wicker, bohemian, but it hangs from the ceiling.
Yeah.
It's not really swing. I mean,
well, you wouldn't really.
It's a chair. It's like
chair
an egg-looking chair.
Yeah.
Right.
I think people understand it. Yeah, I think we gave them a great description of the egg swing. And it's wicker, so the whole vibe of this room, it's not fully done yet, so we'll take pictures, but we have like a mint green. We've got like this like rustic, like white. We might paint it the same green, like a mirror. It's going to have that bohemian feel. It's got the sheer curtains, boho. So we're putting that together, but we did some box molding and in that room. I think you've seen the videos that we did. The chair rail box mold out here and painted it the same color as the room was a really great idea. We hung a chandelier up here. We redid the laundry room. We made the garage super functional, which is what I really needed. So I have like my workbench area. We've got our workout. We've got our like golf club and like lawnmower section. And then we got our storage section, but it's all very functional, and you can still pull a car in if need be.
There you go.
And then I just started on the owner's bathroom yesterday, 2 days ago, and finished that and just kind of brightened that up, spruced that up. We did the outside here. We got the grill, the fan, the light, the curtains. We got so much going on, and that we're doing up, but we got a lot more to do.
So when you're doing these projects, do you find joy in it, or do you feel like it's a task?
I find ultimate joy in it.
Really?
Yeah, because it takes creativity, especially with like the box molding. You have to really measure everything out, put down your numbers, and figure everything out perfectly. You have to measure and level things, and you're also occupied. Like, it's a very focused job.
Right.
You know what I realized about working with your hands is like there's a level of challenge and a level of stress where you need perfection and precision.
Right.
Just as much as you would in acting, or you would in public speaking, or you would in a sales pitch, or like even being on like Shark Tank or something. There's that moment of like, oh wow, this has to be perfect. But when it comes to construction or renovations, you're by yourself.
Right.
And if there's a mistake made, you can just fix it.
That's true.
There's not so much pressure where you get one shot to lay this hardwood floor, and if one piece is wrong, you're fired. And you're like, oh crap. It's like, oh damn it, I cut this piece short. I just wasted $20. I have to get a new board, and then you cut it right and put it in, and it's perfect.
Right.
Like, there's room for error. It's kind of like improving and acting.
Yes, you can always fix it. But I will tell you, anytime you and your dad do this mirror, I don't know if they can see.
Yeah, maybe, a little bit of it.
But it's this huge mirror. It's very, very heavy. And anytime I've seen you guys throughout life, because we moved a few times.
Yeah, hang it.
Lift and hang it. It gives me such anxiety. I have to go in the next room because I don't know why that stresses me out. And you know what else stresses me out? when you were doing the box molding, and you had me help with that chalk thing. What's
Chalk line?
So how do you describe that to someone?
Well, if you have to do a straight line for like a very long wall, it's better just to measure down like 8 inches, put 2 dots, and then you take a chalk reel and you pull out a chalk line and you put it on that dot, and then you put tension, and then you snap the chalk line, and a chalk line will be 8 inches straight right across. So you can hang pictures there, put crown molding there, and it keeps it level so that you don't have to keep measuring.
But when I was helping you, you kept saying, come help me with the chalk line. I don't know why that stresses me out so much. I don't know. I don't get.
Well, it just takes time to like learn how to do it. But it's interesting because I thank you all too. Everyone seems to be having a good time of seeing the before and afters on Instagram. And I was thinking to myself, what's funny is that this is probably new to people that I do this.
Sure.
Because we lived in an apartment for 17 years. So I couldn't do, like, I grew up doing all of this stuff. Like, everything known to man, I have done. When it comes to any sort of like renovations or house or like, especially outdoor. I feel like in Ohio we did a lot of outdoor.
Yeah, of course.
Many digging lots of ditches, lots of holes, lots of just like a lot of stuff outside, laying cement driveways. We've added on to our house many times growing up, hardwood floors, like all this stuff. But in the apartments, all I could really do is hang TVs, curtains, and so that was it. So I never really thought about renovating anything or doing any sort of construction work the whole time because I was in an apartment. But then once we got our house, I always had in my mind that I go, oh, I want to, use these skills to make our house go up in value and look better. And now that I've gotten back into it, it's a lot of fun. I to bring it back to the main point, I love that it's creative. I love that there's a beginning, middle, and an end because a lot of things that we do in life are very for like work today for the results of the future. I just love the simple thing of like, I'm doing box molding. It's to take 9 hours. I'm going to go to Lowe's, get my stuff, do it, paint it, do it, boom, done. And you feel like I set out on a mission today and I completed it.
Right.
Rather than I'm going to put out a call or I'm going to go do this or I'm going to go on an audition. And that might not even pay off for like 8 months. Right. So it's like that instant gratification. And it's a lot of hard work with your body. You're lifting, you're pulling. Yeah. So you're by fault burning like 1,500 calories in the work day. Yep. Because you have to. But you're not thinking about it. So you're up and down a ladder. You're carrying heavy things. You're drilling. You're screwing. So you get a workout. It's creative. And so I've just been really enjoying that. And we've got a lot more we're going to be doing in the next 2 months.
Yeah. You don't realize, though, what, like, especially me watching you do all of these little projects on the house, how long it takes to do certain little things. Like even in our bathroom, I guess you would call it a water room. I know we've talked about this, but inside of the actual bathroom, there's a separate room that has the toilet. And in Florida, this is just very popular. They always have like an additional room within the bathroom. So he was putting up box molding and wallpaper in there, and it just looks so beautiful. But that was a full project. Took 2 days.
I don't know if I actually like the toilet in a separate room. It takes away that bonding moment between a married couple when you open up the curtain and you can see your husband on the toilet.
Absolutely. Oh my God, no. I love the water room. It's perfect. I think that's what it's called, but it's called that now.
Yeah, the water room or whatever it is. But yeah, no, it was really fun to do. And I just love that I've found like this hobby, especially for those of you who've been following me forever. I'm not a big hobby guy. And now I have, like these are hobbies of mine. And then we even got these antique nightstands that are all busted to crap. And because I've just been in the mode and I have all the tools now, I was like, I'm going to refurbish these. And once I refurbish them and get them working again, we're either going to find a place in the house. Yep. Or I can sell them or, just toss them if we don't like them. But I was like I look forward to it. Yeah. Where it's not, it like gets me out of my head for a little bit. I get to do a creative project, and it's just like I found myself a nice hobby.
I love he has a hobby because literally I don't think I've seen you do a hobby per se. You'll work out. You tried golf a little bit, but something
golf I'm going to do eventually.
Yeah.
I just was in the mode that because it costs a lot of money to golf too.
Very
and it also
true.
takes, the only thing I don't like about golf, side note, and your dad was like, oh, it hasn't gotten you yet then, is I don't like that it takes 5 hours. I don't know what it is. Like, as soon as you have to, like, first of all, get up early on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. Strike one. Then you're driving. You have to, like, drive there, go to the pro shop, pay, which is expensive. And then you have to, like, come out, go to the driving range to, like, practice swings a few times to get loose. And then you've got guys there who have carts who want to help you with your bags. So then you have the anxiety of like, oh, do I have a 5 or a 10? But then if you're at a high-end place, you're like, oh, am I a cheap ass? Like, it's $120 to golf here, and I'm only tipping $5, but I'd rather just carry my bag 10 feet. But he's coming up asking me for this. Now I feel weird. It's like at a hotel. Like, can you help me with my bags? I'm like, no. Because
so much inner
dialogue. I don't want to have to not have the cash and then live with that.
Well,
so I don't want to prepare
without cash.
So, and this is just the beginning. So then you go to hole 1 and you hit the ball, and then you hop in the cart, and then you drive to the ball, and then you hit the ball, and you either have a good or a bad hole. And then after about an hour, you're like, this is hole 8. Like, I feel like I've golfed. Like, it's
How
time
many
to
holes
go.
Are in?
18.
All right.
I like doing 9, but when the family's here, we're doing 18. But I just feel like, yeah, like, you know, and then afterwards, that's the fun part. You go to the clubhouse, you have a beer,
right.
You order like a...
That's your favorite part.
Yeah.
My favorite part of ski trips is sitting in the lodge and having a cocktail.
You know what
skiing.
You know what I might do is just go, what time are you all golfing? 9? See, I'll meet you at the clubhouse at 1. But you go there and you have, like, after golf, you want a beer... and you want like a bacon lettuce tomato sandwich, or like a BLT with French fries. That's or like a tuna melt
tomato sandwich.
What?
A BLT.
Well, yeah, the bacon lettuce and tomato. But what's the one with the chicken? Or the the turkey? What's the
turkey club?
Turkey club.
That's what you're thinking of. I love me a turkey club.
A burger doesn't work after golf. I know you can try to do it, but
you don't want that meat after being in the sun all day.
No, it's a light meat.
Yeah.
With some French fries,
maybe
a couple beers.
Maybe a tuna sandwich would go really
tuna
nice.
Sandwich,
would love that.
Thick cut French fries, dip them in ketchup.
Delicious.
Preferably the ketchup that comes in the sealed little Heinz containers they give you at hotels.
I love
those. Those are the best. The little plastic ones that sit upside down in the 125-degree heat for 6 months straight that keeps getting refilled. It's a little watery. I prefer the glass bottle. But if you're at a nice golf course, you got that. God. Don't drip it on your polo that they made you buy. Because you need a polo.
Oh, boy.
Which I get. It's a sophisticated game. But as you can tell, I have high hopes for me as a golfer.
Maybe it's not for you. Or maybe it is. We'll find out.
It is. I like the exercise.
Yep.
I like the challenge of it. I just haven't found...
the joy.
The joy in waking up on the weekends doing it.
Well, here's the other thing. I
do it on a Tuesday.
Maybe
if we can get
would.
a tea time at noon.
But that's too hot. That's why they go early. But I feel you and I, the way our DNA is, or maybe it's just because we've been together for so long, we both have rubbed off on each other. We like to do activities, and then we like to get back home. Like, I'm not someone who likes to just lounge around and hang out for, like, all day long. If I'm going to go do something, like if I'm going to go to the mall, I'm there for a reason, I get what I need, and I'm ready to go home. I don't want to, like, sit there all day. I just always feel like there's more I have to do or stuff going on. I don't know. I just feel we're both that way. Maybe that's why golfing, you can't
you
just let
nailed
go.
It. Because going to play tennis, there's like, you're like playing and you win or lose, and then you play another round and you win or lose. Or if you play basketball, it's like quick. Even pool. You play pool, billiards?
You know what you're going for.
Yeah, you know that it's like there. But like golf is like, oh, I got a birdie. Got a bogey on this one. And it's just like you're waiting to the end and you're trying to beat your score. It's a little like bowling, but I love bowling. Bowling is also 10 frames, 15 minutes.
Bowling's exciting, though.
You have chicken fingers.
You do.
Honey mustard. Shoes off the floor. They're up on the table before you get down onto the bowling floor. You have to make sure you eat with your left hand if you're right-handed because the grease will mess up the spin of the ball.
There you go.
My God. The sports.
I think the moral of the story is we like activities where there are snacks involved.
Yeah. You know what I haven't tried yet, speaking of snacks and beer, is some people drink during the 18 holes.
So I've heard.
I've never tried that because I'm new and I really cared about getting good. But the pros who've been doing this for 10, 20, 50 years, they like to get a little buzz.
But maybe that's why you just need to have a brew and loosen up, and then you'll have some fun.
Well, what we're gonna do is, and this will be a lot more fun, is there's gonna be, I think, 8 of us. So we're gonna play something called is it a skins or skims? Skins?
Asking the wrong gal.
Can you do a skins game golf?
Yes. One team gonna have your shirts off.
No. Hold on, I'm gonna explain.
One has their polos off. Skins game golf.
So it's called skins.
What is a skins game in golf?
I know what it is, so I just want to make sure I got the right name. So skins is essentially you have 4 people playing. Everyone drives the ball, and then on the next shot,
what does drive the ball mean?
When you put it on the tee and you start the course.
So if I'm taking my first, it's not a putt, it's a drive.
No, it's a drive. So you drive your first ball, and then the next person goes, the next person goes, the next person goes. So traditionally, if you play individually, there's going to be 4 balls that are all laying in the fairway or off the fairway, and everyone has to play again, and you do that. With the skins game, all 4 of you hit the ball. Whoever's ball is the furthest or lying the best, then all 4 of us hit from that spot. And then when you hit it onto the green, whoever's closest, then you all putt from that spot. So it basically can even out the weak link in the sense that if I get lucky and have the best drive, great. But if I end up hitting it super crooked, it doesn't slow the game up. Nothing happens because we're all just going to hit the next best shot together. And then maybe I'll get lucky on hole 6 and I'll be the one that hits it closest to the pin and helps my team.
2 questions first. Yeah. Do you do skins just because maybe some people don't have the same experience as others?
It's just a different, fun way to play.
It doesn't matter how many people you have or like what that is? Is it solely just because it's a fun way to play, or I'm
not sure. When it was pitched to me, it sounds like a really good idea. It also takes the pressure off of people if they just want to have fun. Because you're not so laser focused. Because if you mess up a drive or mess up a putt, or you don't want to take a risk, like there's times you're like, could I clear this water with the 7-iron? I don't know. And if you're not playing in a skins game, you don't want to mess up, so you're a little more like
relaxed.
No, you're a little more like focused.
If you're in a skins game, you're more relaxed.
Yeah, because you're like, let me try and hit it over the water, because if it goes in, Jeremy's going to hit it over and we're all going to play that ball. So it's a little more just kind of let's go out and have fun rather than, Freddie shot a 120. Like, who gives? Yeah, like...
I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's not good.
I was assuming by your delivery. So then you're basically telling me the first drive, the first hit you do is called a drive, right? And I'm assuming you do that with the driver, the big, thick guy, to see how far you can get it.
Yes.
Then from there, generally, it's a putt with a putter.
No, it's usually an iron or a wood.
So you say, can I get an iron?
So you have
Can I get a wood?
Yeah, you have like a 3-wood or a 5-wood usually.
So you get out of the cart and you go, pass me the iron, please.
Well, you have to know how far you hit each club. So if you hit like an 8-iron 150 yards and you're 150 yards out to the green, you would hit your 8-iron. If you're like 220 yards away, because it's a par 5, you might want to hit like a wood because you can hit it further.
Are there more than 1 irons?
There's lots of irons.
So you carry that big...
heavy bag. But I usually just play with like a 7, 8, 9-iron, a driver, and a putter. That's all I usually play.
What about a wood? You've never used a wood?
Very unlikely.
Why not?
I just never cared enough.
I always want to come visit you guys and just get like far away footage, like paparazzi style, and you just have no idea where I'm at, and I'm just gonna have my hat on and I'll be in my own car.
Maybe like Happy Gilmore, where you pop out and go, jackass! But it's a better way to play, so that essentially if it's like us 4 versus these 4 and everyone's doing the skins, then it's the collective of all of us, and so our team brings the score at the end. So you're like, we shot really...
So it's 2 teams.
Yeah, it's 4 versus 4.
Oh, okay.
So if it's me, my dad, Jeremy, and Seth, and then because I think Jim's going to try and get 2 other people.
Oh.
So this way it can be like 2 groups of 4.
Fun. I love that.
And so imagine each hole we're playing the best ball and we're getting the best score. So I can participate in helping. I cannot hurt. I can only help.
Got it.
So, but when you have Jeremy on our team, I think he's probably the best. He's like a top
athletic,
athlete.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
If that's how we end up dividing it up. But yeah, I think Jeremy, what is Jeremy, 6'3"?
I was going to say, maybe taller.
Yeah. Was born with 8% body fat. Is 33, still 8% body fat. And is just good in every sport.
There you go.
He's always a good competitor.
Isn't
like
he
beer
a
pong,
coach,
cornhole.
a basketball coach? Yeah. So
at Walsh.
Oh, dang. Love that.
And
you guys,
just phenomenal. Basketball, we play all the time.
I think like 25, Jeremy and Cherie, his wife, who's his cousin, used to come and visit us in LA all the time. We would always travel together. But I remember in LA, there was one trip, probably we were 25, and we had this big loft. And at like 3 a.m, I'm like, what is that noise? And I walk out, and you and he are just there doing like shots from like basketball shots, but it was like of little balls.
No, it was darts. We took a bar stool because there was this loft that was like, I don't know, like huge loft, and it opened up to the living room. So we took a bar stool and we put the bar stool up against the wall and we set the dart board on the back of the bar stool and we stood on top of the loft and we were playing darts where we throw the darts and keep track of it.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, we'd each get a bonus dart and we would say, bonus dart. And we would throw it because we had to back up to the wall where you couldn't see the board and you just had to guess where it was going to go.
But I thought
we
you
put
guys
so many
were
holes
also
in the wall.
doing like beer pong shots from above.
We were doing all trick shots. We were doing that.
They love to play these games.
We play sports all the time.
It's
so that's why
fun.
we'll do like, cornhole, beer pong, basketball. Like there's a lot of stuff that we...
Oh, maybe we'll
but it's
do
nice
a
having
little,
that competition.
Christmas Eve basketball at my parents' basketball court. That could be kind of fun. If it gets to that.
It gets dark at 5:30.
That's true too.
They're doing Magic Kingdom.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll figure out a way.
Another trip, another day.
But anyway, moral of the story is I gotta fall in love with golf a little more. Maybe this skins game will help me fall in love.
Does anyone have any pointers for falling into golf a little harder?
I think just keeping at it.
Just keeping at it, baby. Keep at that.
But yeah, I'm gonna finish up some more. We're gonna continue these projects here, and I'll keep taking before and afters on Insta of the little renos that we're doing, and then we're gonna be back here next Wednesday, which I believe is the 14th, and that's gonna be our holiday special. So we'll do some Christmas hats, some sweaters maybe, and that will be it for the year. And I just wanted to give you all a heads up in case you didn't see next week. So I think we'll know by next week, but we're going to take maybe, a month off again and then come back and do the show, I think, in seasons.
Yeah.
Just because of everything going on in life, I think it's really great to kind of do like a 6-week run.
Yeah.
Keep everyone up to date on stuff and then take like 4 to 6 weeks off, do an 8-week run. But we'll keep you posted so that you're not questioning like we did last time. We'll keep it.
Very naughty of us.
And then
Are we on the naughty or nice list?
We're on the nice list now because they all knew that I would let you unalive yourself right here for the camera for me to keep going for our audience.
Oh, you're circling back to the beginning. That was some dark humor, Fred.
Yeah.
I don't like the dark humor on you. It doesn't work well.
Yeah, she always says my dark humor doesn't work. But anyway, if you want to continue on a weekly basis, we have been having our membership podcast every Sunday. We just released our 90th episode.
Crazy.
It's been almost 2.5 years. So every single Sunday we do a members podcast. So if you want to consider becoming a member, so this way you don't have to go weeks without us, you can consider giving it a shot. It's on YouTube. You can click join now, or on Facebook, it's support now, and it'll bring you through. But it's an additional podcast every Sunday.
And to clarify, when we're on hiatus on the weekly podcast, we are still on there. So the entire time we were off on this weekly public podcast.
Oh, we were still doing the Sundays.
Sundays. Sundays are every Sunday.
Every Sunday. So if you don't want, So we want to thank you for your love and support.
Yes,
and we will see you
December.
here next Wednesday. Take
Bye,
care, everyone.
y'all.